Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
Good morning and welcome to Cowboys StoryLine. I am Nick Eatman here. It is Monday, September the 9th, and the football season is underway officially for the Cowboys. In a big way, 33-17 win over the Cleveland Browns, 16-point win in a win that wasn't even that close. Cowboys, after the first drive of the game, pretty much dominated. Not pretty much, they did. They dominated the entire game, and they had a comfortable win up there in Cleveland. We can discuss if the Cowboys were that good, if Cleveland was that bad, or a combination of both, which usually it is. It usually is some kind of combination of somewhere in the middle. But it was a great win, great start for the Cowboys, a lot to be excited about. A lot of great things happened in the game, and a lot of players that we were kind of wondering about. Zeke Elliott, how he comes back, and how these rookies are going to perform there starting. How does Overshown look? What is Brandon Aubrey going to do in his second season here? How does Dak do with the new contract? We can talk about contract. That finally got that one out of the way and what that means for this team. Just a lot of things, how CD was going to look when he comes back. And they checked off a lot of the boxes, I thought, in this game. So we can talk about it, of course. It's what we do here, 888-855-2297. Let's go straight to the phone lines here. Brian in Colorado is first up. Brian, what's up? Brian, what's up, man? All right. Let's move on. Let's move to the next one. Sorry, Brian in Colorado. All right. Is Michael in Bowling Green? Is he up?
It's Michael in Bowling Green.
How you doing?
Oh, man, fantastic. Today is no complaints win day. I mean, you can probably find little things, but no complaints. My StoryLine T-shirt's 1-0. I'm beating the Oxnard Leaf Blowers in the StoryLine Fantasy Football by almost 100 points. The Cowboys did great. I loved it. The only thing is, I think they just need to go ahead and give Mike McCarthy his extension just to get that out of the way.
Well, I don't know about all that. I mean, I think we're good on extensions right now. I don't think Mike is getting one. I don't think Mike is getting one. But I'm not saying that they're not deserving. I think after what it took to get that deal done with Dak. Stephen Jones even said he didn't have any more money. He was joking, of course, but I don't know. I don't see them doing any kind of contract stuff. But yeah, you're right. It was a great win all the way around. Nothing to really be complaining about.
Nope.
Yep.
No, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
And they beat a playoff team. So they were playoffs last year. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, and not just a playoff team, but a playoff team. Thanks, Michael. Not just a playoff team, but on the road in a place where they haven't lost. They were 8-1 last year in the 9 home games. Their only loss was to Baltimore, and Baltimore handled them pretty good. I think they won by it was like 28-7 or something like that. They won the game convincingly, and as did the Cowboys. The Cowboys did as well. They won the game convincingly. So. I really was surprised all along that Cleveland was favored. I don't know. Maybe I don't give them the respect that they deserve. I've never thought of Deshaun Watson as one of these top tier quarterbacks. Now, he was running for his life yesterday, and if it wasn't for him and the strength that he's got in his upper body, I mean, he would have been sacked 10 times. I thought the Cowboys did a great job of getting after him in that game, but it really was an impressive start for the Cowboys all the way around. I thought the defense was just superb. I mean, their speed was off the charts. It's something that's very noticeable now. The linebackers it looks completely revamped. I mean, with Eric Kendricks' play. Overshown can get from one sideline to the other in like 9 steps. I mean, like it's amazing. And that tackle that he made on Deshaun Watson on fourth down and it looked like he was going to get the corner. He just like shot out of a cannon to chase him down. And not only that, but then deliver the force. It reminded me, and don't like to compare to this guy, but it reminded me of the play that Deshaun Watson and the Cowboys, they were playing Houston in like 2018, and he tried to get the edge on fourth down to the goal line, and Jalen Smith actually, chased him down, knocked him down out of bounds. It was an impressive play, probably the best play he's ever had with the Cowboys. But I'm not trying to compare the guys. I'm just saying a linebacker that knows angles, that can run and chase down the quarterback, and not only that, but then deliver a big hit. That's what that was. And the linebackers, we can talk about them more, but they were really fantastic. All right, let's go to Gavin in Louisville, Texas. Is that right, Gavin?
Yes, sir.
What's up, man?
Today I'm calling from Texas. I came to see my family and watch the game. We had a great time.
You're from Oklahoma, though, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Don't confuse me.
I wanted to say I'm super excited about the defense, as you were just talking about.
Sure.
I was watching the defense and I was sitting there thinking maybe Zimmer is an upgrade. I didn't think that initially when Quinn left, but it's kind of early to say, obviously. And I think similar to you about Watson. I don't think he's a top tier quarterback, nor do I think he's the same quarterback he was when he was playing. So obviously there's a better test to come. But the thing I'm concerned about, and I kind of want to hear you speak on, I haven't caught the whole show, so I'm not sure if you already spoke about this or not, but I'm concerned about the running game. It's kind of hard to be concerned about it when you win 33-17, obviously, but I can't help but think the running game didn't look great to me when we did run the ball. And when we play these better teams like San Francisco, Philadelphia, I think we're really going to have to establish a run game. So I just kind of wanted to hear you talk about that. And I also wanted to hear your opinion on if you think the running game could use some more creativity. And with that, I'll hang up and listen to you. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate that. I knew that was coming, the criticism of the running game, but I'm not really that concerned with it. You say when they face better teams, this is supposed to be one of the best ones. This is supposed to be one of the best teams in the league when it comes to stopping the run. And that's what they do, and they try to sell out for that. They've got some big guys up front. They're hard to move. So the Cowboys averaged 4 yards a carry. They had to do things kind of on the perimeter. I mean, that's the thing. They got CeeDee Lamb on the move, and he had some end arounds. 3 of them. I mean, there's running back by committee, and I think that when we say that, we think, okay, Zeke and Rico and maybe a little bit of Deuce Vaughn. And I think you have to factor in that they're going to give the ball to these receivers. I mean, 4 times it looks like here, 3 to CD, 1 to Cooks, pretty much on the same play. So that'll keep them honest. That'll keep them going side to side. And against Cleveland's defense, I mean that's what they do. So I know that in the second half they had to they shut it down a little bit, but it was very clear that Cleveland was not going to do anything. So in a game like that, this one reminded me a little bit of the first game last year against the Giants, but also the second game against the Jets. If you remember, Jets weren't moving the ball. I think they won 30-10. And in the second half, it was just field goals. It was just keep stacking points. You don't have to force this thing. As long as you keep scoring, they're not going to score, and you can get out of here and get the win. And that's the way I looked at it. I'm not super concerned about the running game. Let's see what happens when you face more teams. But, for what we saw in that game, I thought it was a good start. All right, let's go to Reggie in Germany. Reggie, Germany, what's up?
How are you, Nick? It's been a minute. How are you, my friend?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much, man. So my takeaway from the game was it was a very work-like performance from both sides of the ball. Hard to make any determination, but I did like the tendencies. I liked the tendencies from the defensive line. They looked a little bit stouter. The linebackers under the leadership of Eric, and playing together with oh my God, I can't say the name, but you know what I'm talking about. the second year, first year brother. But they look good together, number 13 and then number 50. And offense under Dak just looked very good, not overly impressive, but they did the job. Yeah. I have a question for you. This may be a little bit off point, but it's a question regarding Trey Lance. We haven't had the opportunity in the time that Trey Lance has been here to see if he's actually evolved positively. You guys see a lot more of them than we do. And I'm asking you, have you seen a positive evolution from him, or have you seen basically, he's standing still? And then I've got an announcement for you. Nick, you said you wanted to come over in Germany, and we wanted to hook up when you came. I'm trying to get Dallas. All the performances for the NFL teams are in the south of Germany. Nothing comes to the north of Germany. The largest two population centers are in the north of Germany, in Hamburg and in Berlin. And I am trying to get to show that there is interest in the north for ball games to come up here. And if that's a question that you may have to ask Jerry when you get a chance to ask questions. But I'm putting in the legwork to try and do that and show that there's some interest here. And they have a huge, beautiful stadium here. It's called Volkspark Stadium in Hamburg. Gorgeous, and they can play really good ball games up here. Is that something Jerry would be interested in? Because before I put all that work in, I'd like to know I'm doing it for a reason. So those are my issues. That's my announcement. And much love, Nick. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Reggie. If I get to ask Jerry a question, it probably won't be going to North Germany versus South Germany or whatever. Just I contrary to what some people think, I don't think Jerry does run the NFL and make all the decisions like that. But hey, if we go, we go. I'm not trying to say that Germany is Germany because I've never been, but I mean it would be cool. Wherever we are, if we ever get to go to there, that would be awesome. I wonder how many teams in the league get a big win in their first game. And the first question, or one of the first questions, is about the third quarterback. But I understand that Trey Lance, that people have a lot of, desire to talk about him. I think it would go down a little bit after that performance. I mean, after that, what happened with Dak? I mean, Dak signed a record deal. Is the biggest contract in NFL history. So what happens with the third quarterback really has become a little bit more irrelevant. Is he going to be a backup? He's got to become a backup quarterback in the NFL right now. He hasn't shown that he's going to be a starter. He's gotten the opportunity in preseason. He had some moments, good and bad. He didn't play with the starters. He didn't play against a lot of the starters, and he's been okay. I mean, hot and cold. I mean, I think he's got enough athleticism to show he could probably be a backup quarterback. Whether that's here, I don't know. We'll see what kind of. I would doubt that. I would think that they got to go. They didn't go cheap on their starter. They probably need to go pretty cheap on their backup. We'll see what happens there with him. All right, let's go. Well, let me get a text line question here. This is from Joe in Stamford, Texas. He says, do you think the Cowboys defense is that good, or does Deshaun Watson help us look better than we are? I think the Cowboys defense is that good. I mean, Deshaun Watson, hey, I don't believe he's an elite quarterback, but I think, he's been a good quarterback that can, go to the Pro Bowl and do that. He's athletic. I don't think he's, his throwing isn't up to par, but I thought that the defense really did make him uncomfortable. They got after him in a lot of ways. Micah Parsons was just he wrecked the game. He wrecked the game in the second quarter. He was the best defensive player in the game. And I say that because I was preaching that all week long, and I stand by it. So I'll break my arm patting myself on the back. I said it. I thought the Cowboys would have I thought the Browns would have a much harder time blocking Micah Parsons than the Cowboys would have blocking Myles Garrett. And that, I think that came to fruition. I mean, yes, Myles Garrett was tough, and Tyler Guyton, it was an all-day thing for him. He did have some issues, but Micah was incredible. Should have had more sacks, and I know he knows that. He was upset in the locker room. Not upset, but he was, he kept talking about it like, man, I should have had 3 or whatever. But, he did have 1. He forced the sack, the first one by Tank, one of them by Kendricks. He tipped the ball that was picked off by Kendricks. He was very, very active in the game, and I thought Micah was unbelievable. All right, let's go to Lewis in Langston, Oklahoma.
Morning.
How are you doing?
Not bad. I couldn't get in Friday, so I was going to give my score prediction. I was going to say 23-17 to the Cowboys. Never thought I was going to see a 33-17 game. I thought it was going to be a lot harder fought game. I think the defense may be real.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they may be real. But I said on the storyliners on the X or Twitter, I love seeing the linebackers fly around.
Yeah.
And like I've been preaching almost the whole offseason, the D-line showed up. Mozzie did his thing. The big boys in the middle did their thing. So I love seeing the linebackers fly around. I was a little concerned because the offense got bogged down in the second half. But I kind of was, that's one of those things I kind of looked at like, okay, Cleveland kind of got it together. And then the offense looked like they were trying to work through some things. And I love watching the 2 rookies. BB play real hard. I seen him miss a couple of blocks when he was trying to get down the field. But as far as his initial punch, fantastic. Tyler Guyton trying to fight Myles Garrett all day was a wrestling match, so I enjoy watching that. You win some, you lose some. I enjoy watching that. And I think that's all I'm going to take away from that for now. And I'll just call when I can when I get in.
All right. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was one of those battles there with the offensive line. I thought Guyton, he had his moments, but there were times where he didn't get a lot of help either, and he did okay. And the Cowboys were smart about it as well. I mean, they didn't just run right at Garrett. They didn't just stand there and let Dak throw the ball, right there in the pocket. There were times where they rolled away from him. And once Cleveland saw that was happening, that one drive, that very, very impressive touchdown drive, that ended with the touchdown by Zeke. But in that drive, you could see that they were rolling to the right, Dak's right, away from the left tackle and where Myles Garrett was lining up. So by doing that, it kind of plays right into their hand. Dak can roll right. He's right-handed. He throws. They did that a few times to the point where they actually moved Garrett to the other side. And I thought a very key play in the game was when it was 7-3, 1st and goal in the 7. I believe they did a run or a screen to Zeke that was stuffed for no gain. So it was going to be 2nd and goal at the 7. That's where it gets tight down there. And Garrett was lined up off sides. He was facing Steele on the right tackle position. That changed everything. Now it's half the distance to the goal. 1st and goal at the 3, they hand the ball to Zeke up the middle for a touchdown, which was impressive there. But that play right there was very big because it's 7-3, get a field goal, it's 10-3. But that entire drive was amazing. Four different guys caught the ball. 4 different guys ran the ball, and some of them were the same. Zeke ran and caught one, and so did CD. But they spread the ball around. Jalen Brooks had some on that play. Hunter Lipke on the drive. So it was a very, very good drive. They moved the ball around and went in there and scored, and that really kind of took that game to another level there. All right, let's take a break here on Cowboys Storyline real quick. We'll be right back to answer more of your calls.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys!
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
For you soccer fans out there, here's a chance to see the Mex Tour. It's a chance to watch Mexican national soccer team against Canadian soccer team. That will be September the 10th at AT&T Stadium. Tickets on sale now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium. All right, here we go. Let's get things rolling. We have Zach in Atlanta. He's been on the line. So, Zach, what's up, man?
Nick, good morning. Happy Victory Monday. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was talking to Beam. The coffee tastes better today. The weather's brighter, more beautiful. It's always good when the Cowboys get a dub, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, well, very impressive.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Turpin, finally got his return touchdown in the regular season. Aubrey, dude is just nails. I really wanted to see that 71-yarder. That would have been fun. We're seeing Zimmer already using Micah all over the field, and the young guys coming through. Eric Kendricks, fantastic addition. There's a lot of fun. And I think the defense is real. I saw a stat or a note that, the Browns O-line was kind of banged up. They're on a few different reserve guys on the line, but that line was banged up all of last year with some of those backups playing, and
right.
they were 11-6 and went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were just rolling out, nobodies. These guys had experience, and they were playing good football last year. So, yeah, man, that's just super exciting to think about that. I want to give a shout out to Mike McCarthy. All the drama this offseason, Dak potentially playing on the last year of his deal. Shout out to Dak for getting an extension. We love you, Dak. But McCarthy on the last year of his deal, kind of all this turmoil, CD, and, man, the guys looked ready to play. McCarthy was calling the offense really well to protect Dak and the young line.
Yep.
I thought he did a really good job. So the last note is Jake Ferguson. I tweeted you, man. Hope you're well, but if you need my ACL, MCL, LCL, PCL, meniscus, patella, whatever it is, dude, please take it. It's all yours. Just go ball and come back.
Wow, okay. Well, that's super fan right there. All right, thank you, Zach. Hopefully he's not going to need that, from anybody. I think, again, it's early. I'm not a doctor. I just feel like he's going to be fine. That's what I've been told. That's kind of what I saw yesterday on the plane. I actually saw him and just got a good vibe from where he is. He just seemed like he wasn't in bad spirits by any means. So we'll see what the test looks like. And sometimes you wake up swelling. We'll see if they do an MRI on that, but it just didn't seem like it was going to be a tough situation for him. So that's good news there. A lot of other stuff that you talked about. I do agree that you got to give some credit to McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator, just the way that they called the game. And Mike calls the plays, but just the way that they got things set up, and it really did keep Cleveland on their toes. And Cleveland had 5 different quarterbacks play last year, so their team is built for, kind of an inside-out type of team, in the trenches, grind it out type of thing. And that's something that I will say about the way the Cowboys play the game. It was very clear early. Cleveland brings it. They bring the wood. They're a tough physical team. You have to be if you're playing in that division against Baltimore and Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and all that. They are built that way. They're tough. Dak felt it on the second play of the game, third play of the game, whatever, right up the middle with a big time hit. And so, but as the game went on, the Cowboys were more physical. The Cowboys were bringing the wood. I mean, Donovan Wilson, hitting people and Overshown and Micah, the Hooker had a nice hit over the middle. They really were a physical team as well. They matched that, and I thought that was impressive. Again, I understand it's one game. I'm not trying to look ahead. You know me, I'm not going to look all the way ahead. But if this team is a team that can get in the playoffs, that's the type of football you've got to have there. You've got to be a physical team. Now, you got to be able to run the ball. And what we saw in that game is that's something, that they need to improve on. But, especially second half when they know you're running, you got to be able to run out the clock a little bit better than that. But I thought from a physicality standpoint, the Cowboys were really, really strong. All right, Morrow in Oregon. Morrow.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. I just wanted to call in and give my 2 cents. I'll make this quick. I tried to call in Friday also, and I just sent my message into the text line just to have a little receipts here and there.
Okay.
But basically my idea was put it out there as far as what I believe what the storylines wouldn't be for this year. Well, the reason I ended up reaching in today is because somebody touched on one of the topics I believe wasn't going to be a storyline, which was the Lance and Dak storyline, I guess. I felt like it was put to bed, obviously, during the preseason. We can, worry about him later. The other one that I felt wouldn't be a storyline, and I feel these were at the beginning of last year, was Brandon Cooks. I believe it took till week 6 for Cooks and Dak to kind of get things going, and the question was, how is this receiver not, how are they not connected and this and that? Well, obviously with the holdout and him getting reps, they're on the same page. So I felt like that was in the storyline. And the other one that was a huge one was the linebacker depth. Now it's on the flip side where we got the linebackers, we got some youth, we got some dogs out there, basically. Loved watching Overshown fly around, and the defense looked good. And I'll just kind of play off of what you mentioned here at the very end. I feel like it's the linebacker and the youth and the aggressiveness. These guys don't know what they don't know. That's good and bad. You know what I mean? In the beginning, they're just going. They're going hard. And then obviously when you get against some experienced teams, they're going to see what you do and try to put you in some difficult spots to see, if you can stay focused and take care of business. So the not knowing what they know, and that could be good and bad, but in the beginning of this first game, it was definitely a good one.
Yep, I totally agree. I mean, with anything, it's early. There's good and bad. Mostly good, though. Not really any bad. I mean, there were some things to work on. Yeah, but it was definitely a very good, positive performance. Not to say the odds makers know everything, but they somehow had Cleveland favored to win this game. And
I was surprised by that.
I was too. But the Cowboys went and dominated the game. Probably could have won by 3 touchdowns. I believe, yeah. Cleveland got a cheap one there at the end, but it was a 16-point win. It was an absolute blowout. And I said this to Chris last night too. If you don't like the score and you think 16 wasn't enough, just remember the Packers beat the Cowboys in the playoffs by 16 points, 48 to 32, right. And it felt way worse than that, and it was way worse than that. So 16 points doesn't always tell the story.
Yep, correct. I just wanted to give a quick little shout-out. My son Jackson Ochoa, he just got a little promotion. He's in the Marines. He got a Lance Corporal, so I just wanted to give him a little shout-out.
That's great.
And then for you also, congratulations. I believe it was 25 years.
Yeah.
And, appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, different.
And I'll hang up and listen to the rest of the show, but I just wanted to give him my 2 cents there.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you. And congrats there to your son, which is a lot more impressive than me being here 25 years. What he's doing, and I've said this before, it means a lot to what we do and to be able to protect us. And a lot of respect there. All right. Before I get to Irene, I will say this though. Power of Twitter, power of X. Jake Ferguson tweeted out not too long ago, "God is great." So that's a good news. But I think there obviously was some fear that it could have been a much more serious injury. Turns out it looks like he's got an MCL sprain, so he could probably miss some time here. I mean, that usually that MCL sprain is is in a 4 to 6 week window, maybe 2 to 4. So we'll see. But he's, I think overall it's positive news, but I wouldn't expect him to be able to play in this game. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's still early in the week, but I think they survived a big scare, but it might be some time where he will be out. All right, let's go to Irene in Virginia.
Hey, Nick. Hey, Chris. Let's go.
Hi.
Here we go. 1-0.
Yep.
I didn't want to be a downer on Friday. In my 10-7, this was a loss. I just couldn't say it on air in week 1. So I guess we're going 11-6 now. Anyway, when we opened up the season of StoryLine, I was like, I'm interested in the injuries. Hats off to Trayvon Diggs, to Marvion Overshown. They didn't look like they held up any. The training staff on Friday's show, I mentioned, Micah, Tank, and even Nealon thriving with the offensive line injuries. Micah had 9 pressures and a sack. Tank had 2. Nealon had 6 pressures. That's crazy. That's it. Go Cowboys.
Yeah.
Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you, Irene. Yeah, it was. I didn't have. I usually don't go through the season like that. And with the win loss, but I always had a win for this one. I really did, and maybe it's just because I don't ever put a lot of respect on Cleveland. I just don't, and or Deshaun Watson for that matter. And nothing happened Sunday is going to change my mind on that. But I just thought the Cowboys were on a different level. I mean, than Cleveland, and they were. I mean, without a doubt, their defense was way better than Cleveland's offense, and I thought the Cowboys' offense was better than Cleveland's defense. I mean, it was not appreciably better, but obviously, moved the ball when they needed to and got in position to score. And then the special teams by far was on a different level there too. So, all right, good stuff. Let's take our second break here on Cowboys Storyline, and we will be right back.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys!
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the Cowboys fan that you know that could be the 2024 Dallas Cowboy Fan of the Year. They win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. All right, let's keep this thing rolling. Cowboys 33-17 win over the Cleveland Browns, and it was a game that wasn't even as close as that. We've talked about that. They did what they wanted to, especially on defense. I think this has a potential to be a really, really good defense, and usually doesn't start there, but I thought the difference and the improvement starts with the linebackers. I thought Eric Kendricks was awesome. I mean, he was all over the field. He made 2 sacks and an interception. First time in his career that he's done that. Two sacks and a pick in the same game. Overshown, just hats off to him, and Trayvon Diggs as well. And also, we didn't talk a lot about Kalen Carson, but he held his own. I mean, I thought he did a nice job. Yeah, they scored a touchdown on him late, or in the third quarter on 5th down or 6th down, whatever that was. What a mess that play was. The officials just completely botched that, and I don't know who they said first down to, or why Cleveland thought it was first down, or I don't see that part. Maybe somebody did give the first down marker, but they didn't give it to the chain gang because each side said 4th and inches. And that's all you have to go off of was 4th and inches. That's what you see. It's a big orange stick and it has a 4 on it, and they throw an incomplete pass. So you get off the field. They got to stop. For them to come back like that, and then they couldn't review the previous spot because they'd already run a play. What a mess. I know McCarthy was upset about that, but it didn't really lead to much of anything. They did score there, but they didn't, get back in the game or anything like that. All right, Kurt in Arkansas is next.
Hey, Nick, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Well, I'm great. It's Victory Monday.
It sure is.
And I want to tell Chris, thank you for remembering me. It means a lot.
Yeah, of course.
And how about them Cowboys?
All right. What's your question? You got a question?
Oh, well, no, not really. How impressive do you think Kendricks was and Linval Joseph in their first games?
All right. Thank you, Kurt. Linval Joseph, he played some, in the middle, didn't have a ton of snaps. I don't have the actual play snap chart in front of me, but, I looked at him a few times. There were a couple of plays where he was in there with Jordan Phillips where they did exactly what you're supposed to do. There was one particular run where Kendricks came flying in and made a tackle on about a 1 yard gain, but it was because those defensive tackles do exactly what you're supposed to do. They hold up their side. They don't get double teamed. They don't get pushed back, and they allow the linebackers to be free and just go right in and make the play. And that's something we just didn't see a lot of last year, which, A, the defensive tackles holding up like that, B, the linebackers able to fill the gap like that. Really, really impressive there. And I thought, like we talked about with Kendricks, he was really awesome. All right, let's go to Rob in Vegas.
Hey, Nick.
What's up?
Here we go. Great win. Congratulations to Dak.
Yeah.
A little more money than I even thought.
Sure.
I thought it'd be 57.5, 58, but hey, 60.
60.
He's a great guy off the field also, which is very important when you're investing that kind of money.
Yeah. Well, just a fantastic leader too, and
yes.
He didn't miss a practice, or he missed a couple practices, but he was there every single day. Even through it all, he kind of stood to his guns, like, hey, this is what I'm gonna, this is my number. Obviously, 60 was the number, and
right.
He stuck to that, and I don't know if you would say who won the negotiation and all this, but I just know this, that was obviously the point that he wanted.
Yeah, I think it's a great move. I thought the game obviously was great. It kind of answered some of the questions I had. We talked about the running back. Yes, that's how it's going to be, running back by committee until one guy stands out. I wanted to see if they could run the ball in from the 5, and sure enough, Zeke blasts it in. I thought Guyton was excellent. You're going up against maybe the best defensive end in football,
right?
And he didn't allow Garrett to wreck the game like Micah wrecked the game for Cleveland.
Exactly.
And there was no penalties.
Yeah.
I don't remember any penalties. Beebe, I didn't hear his name the whole game. It's hard to focus on a guy during the game, so I don't know if he did, great. But listen, I didn't hear his name, so that tells me, what do they say? You don't hear a guy's name on the offensive line. He's doing good.
Mm-hmm.
And Turpin, he finally did it. He was so close. I said, I just had a feeling when I called in the other day, I said, I have a feeling he's going to do something. And he was cruising. I mean, he looked, the defense, it's funny how I always say the team takes on the personality of the coach. The defense, they all want to tackle. They all want to hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Diggs was hitting. They were all hitting.
Hooker,
Overshown.
Yeah.
I tore my ACL, and it took a while just to be able to play a little bit of racquetball. This guy, you would have never thought he had an injury. I mean, he's like a heat-seeking missile. What I love about him, and he don't hesitate. If he sees it, he goes.
Yeah.
I just thought the defense was awesome. We got a little taste of them moving Micah. I think that's what he needs. It keeps him fresh. The only downfall of the game for me was Mike McCarthy. You have to call a timeout when Aubrey's kicking a 66-yard field goal. Call the timeout. I don't care that you thought they made a mistake. My man blasted it through, and he got no credit.
Yep. Yeah.
But other than that, great game. And now we look forward to next week. I'm excited.
Right. Thanks for the call, Rob. Twice now in the last month, we've seen Brandon Aubrey hit a 66-yard field goal off grass, and it hasn't counted in the record book. He did it, in a preseason game that did count in the game, but obviously not in the record book. And then he did it, I guess, for fun here in this one. I'm glad they didn't do the 71. I was not one that was cheering for that. I was like, don't do this. Don't do this. All I could see when I was watching them, it looked like they were going to try. All I was staring at was Brock Hoffman and Tyler Guyton. And I'm just thinking, Alabama, Auburn, the kick six. I'm like, these guys aren't the players you want to be chasing around. If he doesn't get it there, maybe he could get it there. But even if you just strike it not perfect for 71, it could go 55, and then now you're chasing some guy for the Browns with personnel that you don't want to be chasing anyone. So it just didn't seem worth it. It didn't seem worth it to try it, to go up 23-3 when you're up 20-3. I'm glad they did what they did there. All right, let's go to Jeremy in Salt Lake City.
Hey, Nick, what's going on, man?
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Good. So, overall, just feeling really good on Victory Monday, especially when I was with you. I never had them losing to the Browns. I know a lot of people did. I don't know. Deshaun Watson's still kind of questionable to me. Mm-hmm. The main thing was I was really excited to see the young talent that we've drafted coming through. A lot of speculation, a lot of people complaining. I'll say that throughout the off season drove me nuts about how we didn't do anything. Well, this is why. So we can let our young people do what they're supposed to do what they're drafted to do. And I think this game was a great example of that. I kind of had a question for you, and you were just kind of talking about that 71-yarder, the 66-yarder that he hit. What exactly? I mean, I know it was a delay of game is what they called, but there was some sort of weird confusion on the sideline, and coming across on the, watching on TV, it didn't really come across what exactly happened. It was like they shortened our play clock and didn't give us, which was garbage, because that takes away, he would have tied the NFL record with that. So that kind of ticked me off. But overall, I'll be short. Love the game. Love the show. Love every Cowboy Nation. Let's get some positivity going now. We had the most negative off season, but it's time to be positive, time to be excited, and take her easy, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Well, let's also be fair about it too. Like, thanks for the call. But what the fans were upset about was just seeing other teams looking like they were getting better by making moves and doing that. But you're right. I mean, they focused all along on the guys that they have on this roster. They've drafted well, and they wanted to try to develop that. One of the big players that they wanted to develop was Sam Williams. This was supposed to be a big year for him, and of course he had the ACL injury, and so he's out for the season. But there was a lot of players like that. There was the Tolberts, it was the Rico Dowdles, it was guys that that they said let's go with these guys instead of trying to overpay. Which that's what they feel like. They feel like that is overpaying for the most part to get guys in free agency, especially in the first couple of weeks. Now, some of these guys are sitting out there, and they've still able to add a Linval Joseph or trade for Jordan Phillips or whatever. But the one guy they did sign was Eric Kendricks, and so far so good. He definitely looked really good. Now, as for that play that you're talking about, I was actually talking to Aubrey after the game as well, and I asked him to explain what the confusion was And he said most of the time when you go out there to decide that you're going to do a field goal, that they will. You see the refs do this. They will reset the clock, a play clock, to 25, whatever it is, just to get the special teams out there to get both sides. It's a discretion up to the officials, but 9 times out of 10 is what Brennan said. 9 times out of 10 they do that. He blamed himself for not noticing that. I don't know if it's his job to notice that. I don't know if I want him looking at the play clock. He's got to go with the whole operation. There's other people. I mean, I don't know if the Cowboys lead the league, but they've got more coaches than anyone, and there should be a play clock coach all the time. Maybe there is. Maybe there's 5 of them. But either way, yeah, McCarthy probably could have called timeout through all that. It's unfortunate that didn't happen, but. Cowboys still got the win. It was an impressive win as well. All right, Pete in Connecticut. Pete.
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Happy for the win. I just want to say I really like the way our linebackers looked, and it was nice to see Overshown play the way he did, and I think they look really aggressive, and I think we're going to have a solid season. And my son just wanted me to call and say thank you for bringing Zeke back, because he's a big Zeke fan, and he went nuts seeing him get that touchdown.
Yeah.
And we just had a baby girl born yesterday, so if you could wish Meadow a happy birthday, that'd be great. Thank you very much, Nick.
That's awesome. Congrats to that, and congrats to your new addition. Yes, and the Cowboys with an old addition, older Ezekiel Elliott coming back. And, I mean, it's too bad about the penalty there on Tolbert. First play of the game, Zeke comes back and hurdles the guy. Just how cool that would have been if that would have been his first play. Because we all remember his last play. I mean, that's more like it, right? His last play, if you remember, 49ers playoff loss, crazy, wild play to try to put him at center, and he got bulldozed over, and that was the last play that he had with the Cowboys. And so I was really glad that now he's back, and that won't be his last play ever for the Cowboys, but he comes back and does a hurdle. He looked really good. He didn't get a lot of opportunities, but the pass protection, though, that's why he's got some value. He did a really good job of blocking. Did have one hold, I believe, but for the most part, did a nice job in there, and that's kind of what you expect. Does the dirty work, got the touchdown as well. Really cool to see him in there. All right, we're going to sneak one more call in here. Robbie is in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Robbie.
What's up, Nick? First off, shout out to your boy. How do you do on Saturday?
He did good. Thank you for asking. His first game.
Very well. Welcome.
Center, number 15. Got all the snaps in there. Didn't get a catch, but they won the game, and he had a lot of fun. So those are really good things.
And speaking of centers, our center looked all right. I'll take him.
He looked all right.
Good.
He didn't make it. He didn't catch the ball
first
either.
Game of the year, can't get too high, can't get too low.
Yep.
So it was a good game. I'm happy. I mean, we showed some signs of improvement. I'm happy with our defense, happy with our linebackers and Mozzie and all those guys in the middle.
Yeah.
Where we needed to be stronger. Tyler got beat up a little bit, but that's to be expected against Myles Garrett, right?
Right.
But other than that, man, it was a great game, right?
Yeah, it really was. I mean, it was a great game. I mean, other than that, because there really wasn't. I mean, the running game was okay. Tyler Guyton was okay. That's your negatives. Are the two guys that were okay. Everything else was awesome, and you expected that. You expected
for sure
that to happen with Guyton, like you said. So I mean, it was a very, very great first game.
Yes.
Yeah, very impressive.
Yes, sir. Hey, and I'd like to give a shout out to my son RJ. He's 9, and he watched his first game with me and sat in front of the TV the whole night.
Nice. I tell you what, that's
cheered
awesome.
For the Cowboys.
Enjoy that.
It was amazing.
Not that I'm.
All right, brother. You have a great day.
Thanks
for the show, and thanks for all you guys do. And happy 25th anniversary.
Oh, thank you, Robert.
All that are good stuff, man.
Appreciate that.
We'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right. Well, that is one of those things, and obviously not complaining. I love to do what I get to do. Watching a Cowboy game with my son, I don't know what that feeling is like, or any of my kids for that matter. I've never really done that before. And I guess I hope I don't want to for a while. So I really love what we're doing here, what the Cowboys did in that first game. outstanding performance, without a doubt. We'll talk more about that game, and then we'll start looking ahead tomorrow to the Saints. But for Chris Beam, for all you guys that called in today from all over the world, really, we got a call from Germany as well. Thank you for you guys. Be back tomorrow, same time, same place here on Cowboy Storyline. See ya.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?